This is going to be a quick tutorial on how to use AkuShaper to make a surfboard template for hand shaping surfboards. So first things first, you got to download the AkuShaper software. There's a free version, there's a paid version. I use the free version. The main difference is you cannot save your templates. You can save the print template. So that's pretty much what I do. If I, make a board that I like, I'll save that template and I can print it out again later. But this is a great software for, hand shapers as well as CNC, mainly used for CNC. But I can quickly make a template for all the different types of custom boards that I make. So first things first, we're going to go to File. I am on two screens here. So I go to File, you go to New. And this is going to pop up. It'll give you a list of different options. So, shortboard to egg to longboard. You want to get as close as possible to the shape so you don't have to take any slices out. So I'm actually going to make a 6-foot shortboard. So let me go there. Let me move this down to the other screen so I can hit OK. And then this is basically what's going to pop up. So down here, you'll see length, width, thickness, all these different measurements. For hand shaping, the only measurements I really care about are length and width in this software. So a lot of these are for CNC shaping because you can really customize nose rocker, tail rocker, all these different thicknesses and whatnot. But for me, I adjust that when I'm in the lab itself. So I select this little edit button here, and then I'll select my length. I want 6 foot. I went over a straight line. And I'm actually going to try 20 inches. I'm about, 6'2", 180. So I like it a little bit wider, but I may adjust. I just want to check it out first. So this is a general template here. Some main measurements that you want to keep an eye on: 12 inches from the nose, about 12 inches from the tail. We got the midline here, but this blue dot kind of shows the thickest point of the board. So by clicking on to these different boxes, you can actually expand the nose so you can make it as wide as you want. You can make it thinner. So I'm using the arrows on my keyboard here to kind of make this wider, make this, thinner. If I go to the right on my arrow, it'll kind of beef up the front. If I go to the left, it'll kind of thin out. And then this is up and this is down. If you make something you don't like, you can go to undo. So that's what I'm going to do there. Similar to here, this is down, really shrinking that out. This is making that skinny, kind of puffing it up. So these are with, the different arrows. So honestly, I got a 6-foot board, 20 inches wide. Like I mentioned a little bit earlier, I like a little bit of a fuller nose. I ride a lot of twins. I just really like that twin, but hurricane season's coming up. I do want a little bit more of a performance board for that season. So I'm going to go to around this 12-inch mark. That is an important mark when you're making templates. So this is about 12 inches off that nose. And so I'm just kind of visualizing. And I mean, you can mess with this. Let's say, that does look pretty good. I'm thinking about doing a rocket tail. There's this board I really like to ride back in the day from Bill Johnson. I think it was called like a CJ Fishy. Had a rocket tail, swallowtail, super fun board. I think it was kind of ahead of its time. I'm going to try to make something similar to that. So that board did have a really narrow nose, kind of similar to those old schooler, like early 2090s shortboards. But I'm going to make this a little bit wider in the nose. Maybe thin out that tail a little bit. I feel like the center point was pretty much in the center. Let's see what that is, 15.5 1.25, 15 1/4. It's pretty equal. I may like that. I may keep that. I'll add a swallowtail once I'm, shaping. I'll add these rocket tails that kind of bump that in, so that will make it a little bit narrow, a little bit tighter. You can adjust where you want your thickest point. I'm going to go back to where it was because I did kind of like that spot. Some of these features up here, you got the bay, the machine, blank fitting. These are more for the CNC. I sometimes pop into the bay and I'll move my distance out. And you can kind of rotate the board, kind of see what it would look like. You can even, change it to sliced wireframes. That's another good view, so you can kind of see how that. You kind of see all the different curves and whatnot. Pretty cool little features here. But yeah, let's go back to outline. And I like it. I mean, that was super quick, really easy. Now the next step is what I'm going to do. So like I mentioned, I have the free version, so I'm not able to save, but I'll print. So you got a few different printing options. So I'm going to print outline full sized. This is going to pop up. So it'll give me letter, portrait, all this stuff. I'm going to hit OK. For my situation, I'm going to hit Microsoft Print to PDF. So then I can save this so I can print this whenever I want. So that's what I'll do first. And this little pop-up shows, can't really see it very well, but this basically shows you how many printouts there's going to be. So for mine, it's going to use 9 pages. So this outline will be printed out, and then you'll just use scissors and cut it out, and pretty much you're done. You print this PDF, you cut it out, you tape it together, pretty straightforward, and you're ready to go.